Did I ever show you guys my camouflage hard hat? Yeah, I had nothing to do one day, so I went out back. I picked some branches or leaves and wildflowers or whatever it was growing, and came back in the shop here and just kind of laid them in place and misted here and misted there and this way and different colors, different branches, and that's what I ended up with. My camouflage hard hat. All nice and shiny and all. I may want to take the glare off it though, so I may put some flat clear on it. But there she be, my camouflage hard hat. And this is coming along slow, only because this bit here is about had it. I got this hole to finish, and I have one more to do over here, and I'm hoping that I can get it done with this, and we'll take it from there. Now, I don't know too much about these, to be honest with you. I don't know if they can even be sharpened. So if anybody knows, let me know, because I can't see how they can be. So these are probably throwaways. So, but this is a 2.5 inch. But what are you gonna do? Yeah. See what happens. Like I say, I don't think it can be sharpened. The other thing, I really don't see any way to sharpen it. So they're probably throwaways. Keep them for light stuff, but for the heavy stuff, I'll have to get some other ones. I just don't feel like running down to Home Depot right now or Lowe's or anything. By the time I get down there and back, just if I ran right in to get what I wanted and came back, I'd be gone almost 40 minutes. So, and I also know once I get in there, I won't just grab what I'm there to grab. I'd end up shopping, and I just don't want to do that right now. So, but anyway, I'm going to try to get this done with here, and then I'll cut it out. What I'll do is I'll get my speed square, and I'll just put a couple, and put a couple lines right here, and a couple there, and so on, and then I'll just cut that with the jig, and then I'll have a nice clean spot, sand it down, clean over the edges a little bit, stain it, and let it sit for a while, and I'll start working on the rest of it. So that's where we're at so far. And this does work. You know, even as crazy as it looked, it did work. Yeah. Would I do it on a new saw, or a new drill press rather, or an expensive drill press? I don't know, not unless it was gear driven to stay with the gear regardless and without putting much more strain on the motor. But it does, you know, tend to make this motor work a little harder, so I don't know. And this is an old one, so I really didn't care too much about it. If I get these done, that's fine. But anyway, guys, that's it for now. I'll try to splice these all together. Whoa. Alright, well there's the top part, and that's going to hold 8. So, now I'm just going to miter off the back a little bit on a little angle so that it'll sit straight, because the bottom piece is going to be this way. So right now it fits flat against the wall, but with the bottom piece coming out, this will end up sitting upright like this. Now that's not too bad if I put the bottom on the same angle. Yeah, I guess that'll be okay. I'll just run it all flat. But there it is. So that's all done. So I drilled it out, which you've seen me doing. Then I took the jig and I cut out the slots. And then I took the sander and I sanded it all down. Now I'll get some hand sandpaper and PVC pipe, and I'll put a piece of paper on the PVC pipe, and I'll run it back and forth inside here, so that'll kind of round off the inside, because I can't get in there with this. or this. So, but I do have some Schedule 40 PVC around here someplace. So I'll get that, and I'll wrap some paper around it, a full sheet, and put a little tape on each end just to hold it, and I can just shove that in and out, back and forth, and smooth it all off. So that's my next project. So when we get that done, and I'll be right with you. Alright, now here's where we're at. If I can get this thing propped, because I haven't got my tripod here. I put a piece of sandpaper around a piece of 1 inch or 1.5 inch PVC Schedule 40. It doesn't have to be Schedule 40, it's just a heavier pipe, that's all. And then I can get inside these grooves with it. Now I'm going to put it in a vise. So it just lets me sand it up in there real nice. And if I got to get the sides, well then I just get a piece of stick, a piece of board, cut it maybe 1.5 inches wide, put a piece of sandpaper on that with a little spray adhesive or something, because when I'm done I'll throw it away, and I can just go up and down the sides. But this works perfect in there. Too bad that wouldn't fit in there, but that would have really been nice if it was to fit in the guide. But anyway, it fits right in there. So I'm going to put this in the vise and do some more sanding, get it cleaned up in there, and start the bottom. And the battery's going dead already. I noticed the last couple of videos I had done, the batteries are going dead quicker, which is okay, understanding they're old. But it also seemed like the picture quality was really granulated. It wasn't smooth and clean and clear. Now I don't know if that has something to do with maybe the battery voltage. I don't know. I haven't changed any settings, so I don't think it would be that. But maybe it's just my computer that I'm seeing it that way on. I don't know. But I see everything else good, so it's just that one. So I'm going to go get the charger and plug that in, and I'm going to start sanding this. And then, while it's plugged in, I'll do it again to see if there's any difference in quality of picture. Well, time for some OJ with a lot, most pulp. Yeah, so in about 10 minutes you're going to be hearing me go and sneezing and everything else, because like I told you, I love this stuff, but I'm allergic to it. So, but I'm out here, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm sweating up a storm, and that's cold, it's good, it's for me. I got that sanded down some. I just got to fill in some gaps. The plywood had a few gaps in it here and there that I didn't see until after it was cut out. So I'll make up some wood putty. I got some dust laying around here. I'll mix up some carpenter glue with it and fill those in. Then I'll sand it one more time. Then I'll put the block on it because I got to make sure they're squared off. And I'm done with it. Hurrah! And I'm also plugged in right now. So, alright, so what I'm going to do is I got some watered down carpenter's glue here. I think it's a Gorilla type carpenter's glue. So now that it's watered down, I'm going to submerge this and get some inside, because I want it to get in there and stick. Stick it in there with a toothbrush, right, or a little paintbrush. Use the other side to really get it in there. This may be a little the extreme, but you know what? You take it now, you do it while it's apart, and you shouldn't have to worry about it later, especially if a little moisture sets in or something. Yeah, there's another one there, another one there. So whoops, excuse me guys. So it's better to take care of all these little things now when you're seeing them. It's a little extra time, you know, so if you're the kind of guy that's always in a hurry, well, this will work. You know, you don't have to do it this way, whichever way fits you. You know, I can understand it, and it will last, I'm sure. You know, and nobody's going to see the difference that you're doing or not doing unless you're videoing it. You know, but other than that, the end product I think is going to look the same. It's just how long is it going to hold up. And then the other thing is, how long do you really care if it holds up? You know, it's one of these things to where I put some dimples in that. I'm showing up some of the dimple holes. I'll have to sand this down one more time. But, you know, if I only cared if it was going to last a year or so or whatever, I probably wouldn't go through all this. But it may be one of those things to where, you know, it may be sitting in there for 2, 3, 4 years. You try to keep the dampness and the moisture out of it naturally because you don't want your guns to get shot. But, yeah, you want to kind of know where you're putting it because you never know if it's always going to be where it's going to be. So, but anyway, there's that. So I'm going to mix up some glue, and I'm going to mix up some dust rather with that glue, and shove that in there and let it dry and start the other piece, and then I can sand it all down when we're done.